Welcome to Reddit Horror Stories. The scariest stories on Reddit.
Ooh, spooky.
Okay, this one's called My Wife Stepped on Something in the Lake. The next day, they found... What did they find, Miles?
They found a body.
Whoa! How did you know?
Because I saw the title already.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Alright. They didn't find a body.
No.
It was a 7-pound pile of poo. Okay. It was a body.
Wow,
yeah, it was a
that's
body. It was a body.
crazy.
A few years ago, when my daughter was a toddler, my wife and I
Oh,
used to...
Art. Is that Art the Clown?
Oh, yeah.
Damn. Let's go.
A few years ago, when my daughter was a toddler, my wife and I used to take her to a nearby lake to picnic, swim, and just unwind. It was a peaceful spot, quiet, not too crowded, the kind of place where you could just easily forget about the world for a while. One afternoon, after we'd finished eating, my wife decided to go for a quick swim while I stayed on the beach with our daughter. I watched her wade out in the water, the sun sparkling off the surface. A minute later, she suddenly stopped and turned to me, shouting something.
Something.
Something! At first, I couldn't make out what she said, but her expression was off. Then, I heard her clearly. I think I stepped on someone's face, she goes.
Oh.
I froze for a second, thinking maybe she was joking, but the look on her face wasn't playful. It was pale, almost terrified. She quickly started making her way back to shore, her legs moving faster, like she couldn't get out of the water fast enough. When she got back to me, she was visibly shaken. She said that while she was swimming, her foot brushed against something soft. And at first she thought it was a rock or a weird patch of seaweed. But when she pushed her foot against it, she felt the unmistakable shape of a face beneath the water. A nose, a eye socket. She swore she felt the hollow of the eye. What
That's
the
awful.
fuck?
That's
I considered going in to check it out, but I thought, fuck that. I'll just let her get trauma. Joking, it doesn't say that. I considered going out to check it out, but something stopped me. The unease in my gut. Maybe. We decided to pack up and leave right after that.
Yeah, why would you go in there to check it out? I'd be like, we're fucking leaving now.
Sounds like a horror movie when they're like, let me check it out, and then they die.
Yeah.
The next day, the local news reported that a young boy who had been missing for a few days was found drowned in that same lake not far from where we had been. He'd been there the whole time, just beneath the surface. To this day, my wife is convinced she stepped on his face.
Yeah, let me tell you, I would not go swimming
Ever again.
ever again.
No.
Never touching
How
water.
could you?
Oh, dude, just the thought of the feeling that with your foot. Oh my god, that's horrific. I'd be scrubbing my foot clean for the next month straight.
You'd never get that out of your head.
The dude who lives across the street from me went to jail for trying to beat a disabled kid to death on my elementary school sidewalk. He's an alcoholic and is always drunk. Basically, that is what an alcoholic is, yeah.
Yeah, they are always drunk.
Basically, he befriended this kid from his church who was in a wheelchair. The kid was like 14 or 15. Or he was 18 or 19. What? Dude, what?
No, the
Okay.
kid was 14 or 15 and the guy was 18 or 19.
Oh, okay, right. Okay, right. That's already strange. One day, my neighbor invited the 14-year-old over while he was super drunk. Oh, God. Then he took the kid outside, threw him out of his wheelchair, dragged him to the sidewalk by my elementary school, and beat him until he thought he was dead.
Oh my god.
It was the middle of the night. Then he went to the kid's house, got his mum, dragged the mum to her son's body so she could see what he had done. She managed to call the police and an ambulance just in time, but her son's disability worsened and he's traumatized for life.
Jesus.
That is so sad. What the fuck?
That's
also
just
that first
That's
line.
just fucked up. That's just fucked up.
The first line was kind of funny though. No more to say about that. Don't beat disabled kids, please.
This one's called My Grade 6 Teacher Secretly Recorded Us in the Changing Rooms with a fucking pen camera.
Oh, okay.
My primary school grade 6 teacher, oh my god, named Colin Lyons,
Okay.
was found to be a paedophile, and he got away with it all. When I was in primary school, in brackets, elementary school for the US, I had a mid-50-year-old male teacher who I knew from the start was creepy. All the other teachers and staff talked so highly of him because he was a nonce. It doesn't say that. Talked so highly of him because of how involved in the morning activities he was. He came up with the idea to run a yoga class for the morning sport periods. He would run yoga and other teachers would run soccer or cross country or whatever. We were all about 10 to 11 years old when this started. I would notice how during these yoga classes he favoured a couple certain poses. Downward facing dog was his ultimate favourite.
But you got to face toward the wall behind you, not
Downward facing dog, crazy. He seemed to focus on the female students more than the boys, which of course I thought was weird. He would tell us all to go to downward facing dog. Keep your head as straight as to the ground as keep your head as straight to the ground, close your eyes and breathe. While he would circle around the class and assumingly look at the girls wearing skirts and shorts. Weirdly, he made it a requirement for later usage. This is making me feel uncomfortable just reading this. Also, he insisted on taking classes to the swimming lessons at the beach. Damn, what kind of fucking school you go to? He would be really annoying about changing into a fresh pair of clothes in the change rooms before going to and from the beach. A couple years later, when I was in high school, I seen on the news that this teacher had up and left school during middle of the day, with no indication on why or where he went. People were worried for him at first, until they realised his secret. I'm not done! A day later, it came out that another teacher found this teacher's sneaky camera pen device. One of many. It turned out that all those years, yoga, swimming lessons, God knows what else, he would have his camera pen watching it all.
What a fucking surprise.
He would leave his jacket hanging up in the girls' change rooms with the pen facing the students while they got changed for swimming lessons. He was then on the run after being caught out. I assume he thought he was caught out before he actually was. They found piles and piles of footage on his own computer in the same house his kids and wife lived in. Oblivious to his true nature, he was eventually caught by police before the judge, and on behalf of his psychologist, he got away with it. Jesus.
No.
His psychologist apparently pleaded that this teacher was suffering from depression and other mental illnesses, and that it would not be fair to put him in prison. To my knowledge, he is in a protective custody somewhere else away from where angry parents and teachers could find him. I'm sure he is still doing similar shit today, whatever ways possible. It makes me sick to think about this man being put on such a pedestal. Pedophile.
Pedal store.
In such a pedestal by other teachers and staff during my schooling days. They all assumed he was a passionate teacher who wanted to see kids reach their potential. Oh, he wanted to see kids,
Oh,
right?
he wanted to see kids.
He wanted to see kids, all right.
I
In
don't
reality, he
remember.
became a teacher to fulfill his sick urge, which he would still be catering to this day. The teacher's name is Colin Lyons. I will put a link below to the news article of the incident. But mate, there's a lot to unpack here.
I can't believe you got away with that for so long. Did nobody at that school ever once think, hey, maybe doing yoga lessons and walking
What
around the
school
room
does
like
yoga
that
lessons?
is- Yeah, like that just seems like a big no, dude. Like with like little, young schoolgirls in skirts doing yoga. Like
It's very
fuck
strange. It's very
that.
strange.
What? What? Who allowed that in the first place? Like, no shock at all that he was a fucking paedophile.
It's very fucked up. And the camera in the pen, crazy.
And he got away with it too.
Crazy that you can have all that evidence and get away with it. Anyway, that has been Reddit Horror Stories. Like and subscribe if you want to hear more. Miles, it's been fun. It's been real. What did you think of this?
Try not to get too spooked, buddy.
Exactly.
Try your best to sleep tonight.
I will.